Hi there, and welcome to this first video in this series where we're going to be looking at posture and alignment, which is necessarily the basis and the foundation for everything that we do. So if your posture and your alignment, the way in which the body is sort of built upwards is not correct, none of the exercise that you perform will be correct, it won't be safe, and it won't be getting optimum results. And I know it's not the most exciting bit for those of you that want to get onto the good stuff. Seems really boring going on about posture, but I promise if you bother with the detail of posture, that's when you'll really start to see results. Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to start with the feet about hip width apart. Obviously in certain exercises that will change, but this is the basis. Feet hip width apart, and you're going to draw a line from between your second and third toe, coming up the middle of the ankle, shin, knee, through the middle of the thighs and on up through the pelvis on either side here. That's what we're going to think of, that line coming up. It then goes on through the top of the spine and through to the top of the head. And we are elongated, lengthened through that spine. Now I don't want you to force and strain the muscles in order to create that elongated look. It's more the sense of your head being like a balloon. If your head was a balloon, and there was a knot tied in that balloon, and then the string was sent down through your spine and nailed to the floor, that balloon would sort of bob on the top of the spine, and that's what we want to get a feeling of. So your head is easing upwards rather than straining and creating tension, and we have enough tension in our lives, we don't need any extra. So head is lightly easing up to the ceiling in that way. Now let's have a look sideways to look at a couple of other pointers here. First one is where our weight is placed. So if you have a little play around with taking your weight forwards towards your toes, backwards into the heels. If you come right back into the heels, you'll find the fronts of your feet are sort of dead, they're not doing much. And if you just send the weight a little bit further forward so that it's in the middle of that arch of your foot, you'll find the muscles in the fronts of your feet sort of wake up. Now those muscles are really important. Those muscles are responsible for holding the arch in our foot, and that arch is the reason that our little feet can hold all of our body weight. So really important. So here we go again, just send the weight slightly forwards. You're not right into the toes, but nor are you right back into the heels. Over the top of that arch so that you can feel those foot muscles woken up and working. Okay, let's think about the line of our bodies. I'm here in profile because it's easier for you to understand. You're going to come from the foot up through the legs in a straight line. Those legs are nice and straight, and the pelvis wants to be the continuation of that straight line. So my pelvis is neither sticking out at the back nor tucking underneath. It's the continuation of my legs, and then my spine will be the continuation of that. So I'm in this nice elongated position. Now I always say to my clients, the best way for me to get you to do this would be to pick you up by the head and just let you dangle, because then everything would naturally fall into that lovely straight line. I promise I don't do this with my clients. It wouldn't be very ethically correct. And we've got to do the opposite. We've got to start from the bottom and sort of fight against gravity to stand tall. That's where these funny sort of imbalances come in. And the main one is the pelvis. So we've just said we don't want it tucking here. What we want to do is think of the zip on your jeans, and you're going to zip that up. So this is the frontmost of your abdominal muscles. There's lots of different abdominal muscles, but the one that's on the surface is this one, which comes up the front of you and into underneath the bra strap. If there's any guys watching, just imagine you're in a bra strap. So it's going to come from the bottom where you zip up, draw up to the waist, and feel how that is lengthening the pelvis upwards and allowing the tailbone just to drop down. Don't overdo it, that's no good either. We just want it in line with the legs and the top so that you've got that sense of alignment. Okay, I hope that's making sense. Nothing going this way. Lots of exercises we can do to help with that. Pilates is great for it. There's all sorts of different ways of looking at it, but your basis is that. Once you've created that position with the pelvis, you want to hold on to it by drawing the navel back into the spine. So that's the beginnings of core stability, of really working your deep abdominals. Navel drawing back into your spine so this whole area is held solid. And then whatever else you may do, this part is strong, solid, stable, and isn't going to get injured, because I'm sure you all know the lower back is often a site for injury. Okay, so that was our sideways posture. Coming back to the front again, have a little think about this part of you here, your clavicles or your collarbones. We want those to be in a horizontal line, absolutely parallel to the floor, and then the arms just drop down from there. So we don't want one shoulder off or the other. If you're used to holding a bag on one shoulder, you'll probably find you are off kilter. Have a look in the mirror. Sense that feeling. It's like a pair of scales, even across the top, and nice long arms. And just let those arms dangle. If you imagine you're holding heavy shopping bags, what we tend to do is hold the tension up here. And that's when we get this overdeveloped shoulder muscle and tension in the neck. Instead of that, imagine those heavy bags and let the weight of the bags in themselves draw your arms down so that the shoulders just relax into their places here. If you find that hard, give yourselves a little shrug and then breathe out to release the tension. Once again, breathe in and breathe out to release the tension. So that's the shoulders going this way. Last little idea, if you have a tendency to round the shoulders, what we want to do is to start from the spine, drawing tall through the top of the spine. So if you're here, you can see how my whole spine is off kilter. I want to draw through the top of my head first and then open the chest by just waking up this little area in between the shoulder blades. And that, everybody, is how you're going to build the line of the body so that it looks good, it's long and elongated, it makes you look better, it makes you feel better, and it certainly makes you much safer in any form of exercise. It's the basis of everything. Think about this before you move on to any of the other videos. Hope it's been helpful. Any questions, let me know in the comments below. I will always come back to you. See you next time.